So the KwaZulu-Natal government says it's still receiving call-outs from flood victims who need assistance in order to respond to the disaster. Over the past several days, thousands of residents have lost their lives, their livelihoods, and in some instances, even their loved ones. This has seen the province being declared a state of disaster as many organizations come together. All of this in an effort, of course, to try to help those who've been affected. To give us an update on the current situation on the ground, let's bring in the cooperative governance spokesperson, that's Senzelwe Mzila, who joins us via our telephone line. Senzelwe, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Let's perhaps begin with the state of affairs as they currently stand. Bring us up to speed with how those mop-up operations are coming about and whether or not there are still any areas of concerns for you.
Good morning to you, Anga, and good morning to your viewers. The province of KZN is continuing with mop-up operations. Our search and rescue teams continue with the great work that they've been doing. We have received some additional support from other provinces that have sent their teams through as well, and these teams have been integrated into the SAPS teams that are working on the ground. We can report that these teams are being utilized, a number of call-outs that they've responded to, and they've made a number of recoveries. So on this front, there is progress that is being made by our search and rescue teams. We just wish to commend these brave men and women for the work that they continue to do. On the other front as well, there are concerns that the province does have in terms of the potential damage that this disaster has done in the province. Yesterday, the Premier of the province, did make an update, a comprehensive update, and did indicate that while the province is still doing the assessments, at this moment in time, we're not able to quantify the total extent of the damage. This is because there are some areas that are currently inaccessible due to the badly damaged roads. But there are a number of interventions that are being made to reach those affected communities. And on this front, we really want to commend our SANDF for the support that they continue to give in terms of air support, together with the SAPS in terms of being able to reach inaccessible areas to provide relief to those affected communities. But the work on the ground is continuing, and the province is really appreciative of the support that has come through from all across South Africa.
The last update we got from the Premier was that there are 443 deaths. I wonder if there have been any reports overnight that may change this figure.
This figure will be updated during the course of the day, but what we do know is that our teams are working 24/7 on the ground, so we might find that there has been a number of other recoveries that have been done, but this updates would be done later on during the day once the information that comes from them has been collated.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's difficult to kind of track everybody who's affected by this, but I'm sure you'll appreciate that we've come across some families whilst our reporters were on the ground who, sadly paint a very worrying picture about the kind of relief that they received. In fact, in one instance, a 2-year-old girl, we're told, was swept away by the floods. Neighbors tell us that they tried to report this to police, and police haven't been forthcoming. What are you doing as a government to try at least find those individuals who, for one reason or the other, are falling through the cracks?
On this front, we can just report this. During the briefing that the Premier gave yesterday, the Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, Councillor Mavunda, was also present. And I think one of the things that came out strongly is that the search and rescue teams, although they are stretched to capacity, they are working very hard to ensure that the support that is being provided. A number of incidences and calls have been logged in, and all of them are being attended to in a systematic manner as outlined or guided by the standard procedure for search and rescue. We know also that there are areas that where you find someone might have been swept from the specific area, but you might find that they are 3 or 4 kilometers away. So the search and rescue teams have a way that they are working, and really they are stretched, but the work that they are doing so far is really appreciative. And also you will note also that there are a number of stakeholders, such as NGOs, that have also come on board to provide some support to the relief and rescue efforts. So it's all hands on deck currently within the province.
Yeah. For those who aren't getting the response quick enough, because I think most people will appreciate that officials are a bit stretched given the scale of this calamity. If police aren't helpful, where can people turn? What should they do?
The Department of Cogta has also set up a helpline that can be used by communities who want to report other incidences as well. I can give you this number. It's 0800 000 953. This number is manned 24 hours a day. this number will also, for those that are feeling that they are not getting sufficient support, so they can call through on this number. This number goes directly to our provincial head of the management center, and then they will then also be able to follow up on some of these cases.
Right. The help has also been forthcoming from various bodies. I mean, quite literally billions of rand have now been placed to try assist people in KwaZulu-Natal. Perhaps give us a snapshot of where this money is going, what it will be used for specifically.
Currently, the first priority right now is recovery and also the extent of the damage and providing relief to some of these affected areas. There has been a number of NGOs, business that have come on board that are supporting the relief work, and the main thing right now is for those communities that are housed in shelters, for them to be able to be provided with the necessary support. There has been also a commitment made by the National Treasury Minister and also the Minister for Human Settlements, Minister Kubai, and also there's been another commitment made, of course, by a number of stakeholders. But in all of these commitments that have been made, the main thing here is to provide support immediately towards communities. And also the Premier yesterday did mention also that from Tuesday, various MECs will also be going to various areas with the aim of looking at long-term, short-term, medium-term solutions for those that have been displaced, because some of the areas that some of them were staying in were never areas that are safe for in any form of human settlement. So this is part of the immediate term and long-term plan of the province to try and deal with the impact that this disaster has had.
Sure. Senzelwe Mzila, thanks very much indeed for that early morning update. Senzelwe is the spokesperson of the Corporate Governance Department in KwaZulu-Natal.